Hello everyone, welcome to this week's edition of CamLogic's Tech Tuesdays. My name is Joshua Ponzetti. I'm the Applications Engineer for SolidEdge here at CamLogic. Tech Tuesday is our free weekly 30-minute tips and tricks webinar. Today's topic is SolidEdge tips and tricks. Who is CamLogic? CamLogic is a leading provider of product lifecycle management or PLM solutions, 3D scanning and rapid prototyping technologies and services to help companies design and build better products, improving processes, reducing cost, and maximizing profitability. You can see here on the slide that there's a range of information that helps us support all that. We provide unparalleled 3D technology solutions along with the services and support to ensure our clients' success. You can see here we have our technology are made up of 3D scanning, CAD, CAM, CAE, PLM, PDM, 3D printing, and rapid prototyping. CamLogic is a Siemens PLM solution partner. We offer the complete Siemens software suite including NX, SolidEdge, FEMAP, and Teamcenter. We also provide a complete array of 3D printing, hardware, and service solutions, including the 3D Systems Project Series and the Z Printer Series, which is affordable color 3D printers on the market. You can see that we're well adversed in solutions in mechanical design, healthcare, CAE, and others including entertainment. 3D scanning technologies rounds out our trifecta of engineering solutions, from state-of-the-art hardware like Romare, Absolute Arm, Shape Grabber, and Z-Scanner, and cutting-edge time-saving inspection reverse engineering software products from Geomagic and RapidForm. CamLogic is here to provide a variety of solutions to meet your business challenges. We also offer professional, high-quality, in-house scanning services. Okay, let's go ahead and start talking about today's lesson, SolidEdge tips and tricks. Today we're going to focus mainly on steering wheel functionality in the synchronous environment. Recently talking with a user base out there and some of you that may be tuning in right now, there's a lot of guys that are still working in the ordered environment but have interest in the synchronous environment. One of the main heartbeat items that provide synchronous its power is the steering wheel. So right here you can see on the slide I have a few things that the steering wheel accomplishes for us in the synchronous environment. The steering wheel can move, drag, copy, and rotate, and we can go ahead and we're going to show you some of that here in a little bit. First, what I'd like to do is just discuss the wheel itself. So to begin with, you can see on the slide here I have the steering wheel with all parts identified. I'm going to go ahead and just go over them. You have item number 1 is a secondary knob. We have the secondary axis, cardinal points, 4 in total. The torus, which is the round portion that goes around the steering wheel. Primary knob, which is the knob that's located at the end of the primary axis. Again, the primary axis, origin, and the tool plane. And we're going to go ahead and start looking at that in the synchronous environment SolidEdge. So let's go ahead and get SolidEdge up here. The first thing I'm going to do is, you can see I'm in a clear environment. I'm just going to go ahead and start doing a little bit of sketching in the synchronous environment for those of you who may not be sketching in the synchronous environment now. You can see that the big reference planes that are found and ordered are gone. However, you do have the base coordinate system that you can drive all your sketching off of. So I'm going to begin by selecting to begin sketching. I don't know if you noticed or not, but I locked down to that plane by clicking on the lock. Here's a little tip and trick shortcut. By hitting the F3, you can highlight a plane, hit the F3, and it will lock to that plane. So again, you can either highlight and grab the lock icon like so, or you can use the F3. So now that I'm locked to that plane, I'm just going to go ahead, grab my origin, and you can see I'm just going to create a rectangle. So I'm going to make mine 10, 10, and then again for the angle, I'll go ahead and put that on 0. You can see that you have some sketch relationships similar to what happens in ordered that set the rectangle and constrained it to the way how I'd like to. Now, this is one of the big pulls for the synchronous environment. We can just go, grab the region, and you can see that we have an origin and we have 2 arrows here. So those are your handles. That's how you're going to create your 3D solid. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull my solid in this direction. And you can see that you can type in a finite distance, or you can pull the feature to the desired distance that you'd want. I'm going to go ahead and set it for 1 inch, and again, you're automatically defaulted into that. You can type that in and keep moving. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to start sketching on this top plane here. So you can see that I grabbed the circle, and I'm going to put a circle on this face. And then I'll come in and I'll grab the region and begin the pull. So again, in the synchronous environment, you can do 2 things at once. In this case, you can form a protrusion like you would in the ordered environment, or we could go the opposite way and we could cut through the part. For now, I'm going to go in and create a protrusion. I'll make mine 3 inches high. So let's talk about some treatment features. At any point in time, you can come up to your ribbon bar, just like you did in the ordered environment, place a radius of your choice. I'm going to go ahead and set that at 1/4 inch, but I also want to show you that by right-clicking and holding your right click, you can bring up your radial menu. And again, that is just an opportunity to grab commands quicker and easier, closer to the part and where you're working. So I'm going to grab that radius again, and I'm going to put another one. We'll make it another 1/4 inch. Okay. And finally, because this is going to be a mounting plate, I'm going to go ahead. This is going to be a retention feature. I want to point out here that you can grab existing geometry, and relationship handles will pick up to that existing geometry in the synchronous environment. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in a 2-inch cutout, and then we can come back, grab the region, and we'll pull it through and make it a cutout. So you can see that in the synchronous environment, you're still doing all the same sketching techniques that was done in order, but it's just quicker and easier as you move through the workflow of producing those sketches and creating those features. The final sketch I'm going to do before we get into working in the synchronous environment and working with that steering wheel is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a slot in here. So I'm going to come and I'm going to lock to the plane. So now that I'm locked, start creating some holes again, using alignment, using all of those good habits that we all learned in the ordered environment, still applying the synchronous. I'm going to set these equal, and I'm going to finish off my slot by putting in a couple of lines and making sure that they're attached to the quadrants of the circles. Again, paying attention and good mind to my relationship handles. Now we can go ahead and trim that up. Here we go. And I'll go ahead and put we're going to go ahead and make that for 1/2 inch. And again, I wanted to point out that you can see that that sketch profile, it moved because I constrained all that geometry with the relationship handles like I normally would in the ordered environment. Here's the easy part. Now we come in, grab the region, and we cut it with a couple of quick clicks, and we're moving along. So the first thing I want to do is begin to show you some of the steering wheel functionality that we discussed in the slide that we had up there a couple minutes ago. One thing that you can do is by selecting any face, it automatically looses the origin on the surface and then gives you a handle to grab and pull. I can show you here that once you click on that handle, you can pull that, and you can see that you can move it and adjust your height from the point that you grabbed the handle where the origin was. The next thing that I want to do is show you that once you grab this origin and you go to move it, now the steering wheel appears. So that allows you to then begin to place the steering wheel in the fashion that you want to. So I'm going to escape out of that. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to come over to this slot here and I'm going to grab a feature. Okay, so we got the radius here. I want to go ahead and copy this slot, and so when you grab a feature, you'll see that your steering wheel will appear. By hitting the space bar, another tip and trick for you, you can then add more faces to create a face set. Okay, so now I'm in a position where I have selected the entire slot, and I can look to move it, to rotate it, and do all that just by using the steering wheel. A couple of quick things I'd like to zoom in and show you really fast. We're looking at the steering wheel now. Some of the items that we just make up the steering wheel. One being the torus. So you can see here it's now highlighted. This allows you to give a rotary change to a feature. The primary axis, which is your longer arrow. The secondary axis, which you can see is here and it's shorter, and then you have your 4 cardinal points, and you can see that right now the primary axis is tied to one of those, and then your origin in the center, and we have the tool plane. Now one thing I want to tell you about the tool plane is that's what allows you to kind of change the direction of your steering wheel. Another tip and trick for you, by holding your shift key and selecting that plane, you can see that you can flip that direction. And what it does is it reverses the secondary and primary axes and allows you to go in different directions. In this case, we're going to keep going in that direction. Now, some I can show you on the cardinal points. This is what allows you to maintain alignment and move in the direction that you want to. So again, with all of that function in the steering wheel, that's what allows you to quickly and easily set up exactly what you want to do and produce the outcome you desire. What I'll do here is I'm going to grab that primary axis, and you can see that I can move that freely. And you can simply click to place, type in the finite amount to set the exact distance you want to move. What I'm going to do is I'm going to escape out of that. I'm going to grab that primary axis again, and now I'm going to come up to my arm and hit copy. What this allows us to do is now create a copy of that slot. And again, I can type in an amount. In this case, I'm going to place it right there, and you can see now I have my copied slot, and I can go ahead and keep working on my mounting plate here. The next thing I'm going to do is I just want to show you really quick that when we're going in and selecting these features, there's still all of that same great function that we're used to while we're designing that allows us to go ahead and make features mirrored. So I'm going to come up here after selecting those, and I'm just going to simply out of my ribbon bar grab the mirror command. Using my quick pick, getting that right click, I'm going to make sure I get the plane I want, and then here we go. Now we have 4 slots, and we can go ahead and manipulate those and change those at will with our steering wheel. Okay, the next thing that I want to show everybody is that, again, by selecting faces, we can come in and move surfaces. Right now you can see that these surfaces are moving symmetrically, so it automatically grabbed the other surface on the other side. The reason for that is Live Rules, which is a great tool that's in the synchronous environment, and I want to show you that if you come down here, you can see that the maintain symmetry about base planes is selected. Well, we can unselect that and we can move one side, or we can reselect that and we'll move both sides. Okay, so in this case I'm just gonna bump it out a little bit. So let's say, for instance, that we wanted to move that surface, but we wanted to make sure that those slots moved with it. Now all I'll do, grab that surface, hit my space bar, and again, accidentally grab a surface that you don't want, you can simply just hit your control key, hold it, and re-click the surface to turn it off. Another quick tip for you. We can go in one by one and grab all these surfaces that we want to move together. Or we can always do a fence select, come in and grab a set of surfaces. So now that we have all that selected, I'm going to go ahead, hit my primary axis, and look to move. Now you can see that these are moving symmetrically and together. Both sides maintain the relationship of the slot to the edge. I'm going to go ahead and bump that out 2 inches. So now our mounting plate is continuing to take shape, and now we find that, well, perhaps we need to get some angles here on the edges. So now by selecting the edge, we can grab our steering wheel, and I want you to notice that I'm just grabbing the edge of that part. Now that I have the steering wheel placed on the edge of the part, I can dictate my primary axis to align with the current edge of that part. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select the torus, and I want you to notice now I can go ahead and apply a tool to that side of the mounting plate. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and you'll see right now, because my rules is selected, I'm moving symmetrically. So now you can see that now our mounting plate's taken shape, and we have some angles in there. We got all of our 4 slots in there quick and easy. We've copied using the steering wheel. We've moved using the steering wheel. We've done some sketching in the synchronous environment, and it really taken some time to have this mounting plate take shape in the synchronous environment. The next thing I want to show you is, again, we can always just pull surfaces to change thicknesses on the plate. But by hitting the space, by getting out, okay, let me get out of there, okay. So by selecting that and hitting the space bar, we can grab other surfaces that we want to maintain distances on. So I want to show you that that entire set of features are moving together just by simply grabbing the 2 faces that I want to maintain. You can see the 3-inch of and lock that so that they move together and I maintain that 3-inch height. So finally, and I'm going to come back to that. So finally, in conclusion, we've looked at the synchronous environment, we've looked at the steering wheel, and we've created some features using the synchronous environment, and made some changes after creating those features and put them around, and hopefully this will help you to become a little bit more comfortable in the synchronous environment and seeing how things kind of behave a little differently, but you still don't lose those basic lessons learned from ordered. It's just a new vehicle to get there, and again, that is the steering wheel. So now I'd like to go ahead and talk about training. Here at CamLogic, we offer training. You can see that we have some upcoming classes here for Solid Edge Fundamentals. That'll be April 24th through the 27th. And then we also have our next class for the NX Fundamentals, which is April 9th and 13th, and that's here in Oxford, Michigan. Also, we will record this session of Solid Edge Tips and Tricks, and within 24 hours it will be posted on YouTube. So you can feel free to revisit and take some of the things shown today and apply it in your working environment. Thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me or call me anytime. Be sure to visit our website at www.camlogic.com. You can also be found on LinkedIn, Blogger, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And again, my name is John Ponzetti, and that now concludes this edition of Tech Tuesdays, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.